I'm in a caloric deficit, but I'm not losing weight. How are you doing, everybody? Coach Bex here. I hope you're fitting well. So I'm back with more answers to questions from my coaching group. So this is a big one that we'll get quite often, and that is clients or members coming up to us and saying, Coach Bex, I'm in a caloric deficit and I'm not losing weight. Now, straight away from my experience is that I can pretty much guarantee that you are not in a caloric deficit. You may think you are, but the caloric deficit doesn't exist because you cannot beat the law of thermodynamics. So for example, if you are in a deficit of 500 calories weekly, you will lose weight roughly at a pound a week. At the more extreme side of things, if you were a 1000 calorie deficit daily, which I wouldn't recommend, you would lose 1 pound every 3.5 days. Yeah, so over time, if you are in a caloric deficit, you will lose weight. The problem here is you think you're in a caloric deficit. You may be doing all the right things, you may be tracking all your foods, stuff like that, but something's going wrong. So here are the things we need to look at. Okay, you're tracking your calories, but are you tracking them correctly? Yeah. The way I go about it is I scan all of my foods. Yeah, that makes sure that they are official. They're in the database from the supplier of the food. If you're going into MyFitnessPal and just searching, as in typing in for the food in the search bar, it will bring up results that have been input from the general public, which 9 times out of 10 could be wrong. So you're inputting foods the right way to you, you're inputting the right foods, but the calorie intake, the macros and everything are wrong because they've been built by somebody else. So there's one thing, make sure you're tracking correctly, make sure you're selecting entries from the official supplier, food, brand, whatever that may be. Another thing is hidden calories. Yeah, are you accounting for those? Do you track everything like you say you do? You know, when you're running into the kitchen, you grab that snack, you have a bite of this, the kids are eating, you have a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But it isn't that much food, so you don't bother tracking it. These hidden calories add up over time. Yeah, and you'll be very surprised where they come from. So things like olive oil, if you ain't measuring by the tablespoon, if you're just pouring it in, those calories are really high. It's about 100 calories a tablespoon. So if you're just hand pouring, you could be hand pouring 400 to 600 calories into your meal. Yeah. So look out for those hidden calories. Oils, sauces, drinks, especially those high calorie, sugary drinks from the likes of Costa. The next thing you want to look at is your exercise. Are you overestimating the amount of calories you are burning during physical activity? Yeah. And this is usually done by means of a tracker, fitness tracker, smartwatch, anything like that. Do not take them as gospel. Yeah, if it says you burn 600 calories in a HIIT class, that's probably way off. It's probably somewhere in the mark of about 200 or 300. And the problem comes if you're connecting the fitness tracker to your MyFitnessPal. It's adding that exercise in there, and it's also adding that onto your calories. So if you've already established your weekly, daily calorie intake and macros, and you're adding that extra exercise on, which is severely overinflated, you are taking yourself out of that caloric deficit. This is more suited to those that have been dieting for a long time, or people who are extremely light, competitive bodybuilders such as that. Your metabolic rate may have reduced, yeah, because as you exercise, the leaner you get, the lighter you get, your body, its basal metabolic rate will have downregulated because you're lighter, so you will be moving less. Your body will require less energy to move, yeah? And the lighter you are, the less energy is required for the activity that you'd previously done when you were a little bit heavier. Yeah, so say you do a 30-minute HIIT session. If you weigh 80 kilograms, you are going to burn way more calories than had you have dieted down to say 75 kilograms, because you don't have as much weight to move, so your body doesn't require as much energy to move it. The reason why you think you're in a caloric deficit and you're not losing weight is it could be that you're gaining muscle. Yeah, you could be gaining muscle. You could be dropping body fat. You could be gaining muscle. So if you jump on the scales, it could be that you weigh the same. It could even be that you weigh a little bit more. Yeah. But you'll be able to tell by your body looking in the mirror that you're starting to look leaner and you're gaining more muscle definition. It might not be eating enough protein. Now, not getting enough protein will affect you in a bunch of different ways, but if we're talking regarding calories and calorie deficit, there's such a thing called thermic effect of food. Now, your body will expend more calories dependent upon the food group that you eat. So carbs and fats are a lot easier to digest, so you will not burn as many calories as you would from eating protein. Protein's a lot harder to break down, so your body requires more energy to burn it. So if you're not hitting your protein, you need to be hitting it. It's so important for a bunch of reasons, but that's for another video, another day. Get your protein. It could be that you are inconsistently weighing yourself. You could be weighing yourself at different times of the day. You could be weighing yourself at different times of the week. Now, the thing is, daily, hourly, weekly fluctuations in weight are normal. They're completely normal. There's nothing wrong with them. Yeah, we hold more water at certain times. We hold more weight when we haven't been to the bathroom. We hold more weight when we have more food in our gut that's digested. Yeah. So you can literally go to the bathroom, drop a 1 or drop a 2, and you could drop a couple of pounds. Yeah. So the key thing there is make sure you have a consistent weighing time and you weigh yourself under the same conditions on an empty stomach. One thing you can do, which will help highlight these fluctuations, is weigh yourself daily at the same time in the morning after you've been to the bathroom. So every day of the week, Monday through Sunday, and get that net average weight, and it'll show you where your fluctuations are there too. And lastly, are you stressed out? You could be massively stressed out. Now, this could lead to a number of things. This could lead to comfort eating, a quick binge eating session where you're consuming more calories, usually of the sugary, fatty type, which would lead to more water retention. Yeah, the more sugar you have in the body, the more water you hold as well. You eat sugary food, you drink liquids, you hold onto water more, which in the short term gives that illusion that you have put on body fat, you have put on body weight. Yeah, so a key thing here also is to manage your stress. Yeah, so that's a bunch of info there, which will highlight some of the reasons why you think you're in a caloric deficit, but you're actually not. The real thing is, over time, if you are genuinely in a caloric deficit, you will lose weight. So if you find yourself asking that question, I'm in a caloric deficit, but I'm not losing weight, go through these steps, be truthful with yourself, and see what you could change. And another major tip, which is often overlooked, yeah, it's super simple, is be patient. Give it time for these adaptations to occur. So I hope this helps. Let us know in the comments. Take care.